I told you that anxiety isn't your enemy, but a sign that your body is trying to protect you?
Yes, even that feeling of overwhelm, the knot in your chest, or the mind that won't turn off, are mechanisms that your brain activates to keep you safe. The problem isn't feeling anxious. The problem is getting stuck in that survival mode, not knowing how to calm down again. We live in an era where stress has become a universal language. We sleep little, we run a lot, and we breathe poorly. Our nervous system, that invisible network that controls everything we feel and think, is constantly on alert. But what few people know is that we can train it, re-educate it, and teach it to return to its natural balance. Anxiety isn't a brain malfunction, but a physiological response that, if we understand it, we can transform. And in this video, you'll learn exactly that: how to reconnect with your inner calm through science. This is a scientific meditation, a practice inspired by the teachings and discoveries of Dr. Andrew Huberman, a neuroscientist at Stanford University. His work has shown that the body and mind are not separate. Changing how you breathe, how you focus your gaze, or how you move can change how you feel and what you think. Today you'll experience how applied neuroscience can free your nervous system from the cycle of fear, tension, and worry. No prior experience is required, just your breathing, your attention, and the desire to feel at peace. Over the next few minutes, I'll walk you through a routine that combines scientific breathing to reduce the stress response, body scan to relax the muscles that your mind has forgotten to let go, guided visualization to reprogram the feeling of security from within, and finally, a space of conscious silence where your body can rest deeply. This session is designed to train your nervous system just as you train a muscle. The more you practice, the faster your mind will learn to return to calm, even in the midst of chaos. Imagine for a moment living with a clear mind, without that constant noise. Feeling present in your body, sleeping soundly, and waking up energized without anxiety. That version of you exists. It just needs a different kind of training, one based on the science of how your brain really works. So find a quiet place, sit or lie down comfortably. Turn off distractions, let go of the rush, and allow this moment to be just for you. Over the next few minutes, you'll learn how to turn anxiety into regulated energy and stress into clarity. Because calm isn't luck. It's applied neuroscience, and today you're going to experience it for yourself. Take a deep breath. Let's get started. Stress is not an invisible enemy. It's a biological response that has helped humans survive for millions of years. When something threatens us, a loud noise, a disturbing thought, a difficult conversation, our body activates an internal alarm, the sympathetic nervous system. This system is responsible for the heart beating faster, the muscles tensing, and the mind focusing only on the urgent. For thousands of years, this response was an evolutionary advantage, running from a predator, escaping danger, reacting to the unexpected. But in modern life, that alarm doesn't go off. We no longer run from tigers, we run from thoughts. We wake up worried, we go to sleep exhausted, and without realizing it, we live with our nervous system in constant emergency mode. To understand stress and anxiety, we need to understand that our nervous system has two main modes of functioning. 1. The sympathetic system, responsible for activation, alertness, and survival. 2. The parasympathetic system, responsible for relaxation, digestion, and internal repair. Both systems coexist like two sides of the same coin. They're not enemies, they're complementary. The problem arises when the first, the friendly one, stays on for too long. Andrew Huberman often says that the body doesn't distinguish between real and imagined danger. Your brain can activate the same stress response whether you're standing in front of a lion or checking email at midnight. In both cases, your adrenal glands release adrenaline and cortisol, preparing your body to fight or flee. But what happens when rest never comes? When the threat never ends, and your mind keeps racing even when your body is still? When the sympathetic system dominates for days, weeks, or even years, the body pays a price. The heart beats faster than necessary. Breathing becomes shallow. The digestion is altered. The dream is interrupted. And the mind enters a loop of repetitive thoughts, as if trying to solve something that actually has no immediate solution. This is the physiological root of anxiety. It's not a mental failure, it's not weakness. It's simply a body that hasn't been able to return to balance. Huberman explains that anxiety is an overload of the alert system, a hyperactivation of brain networks designed to protect us, especially the amygdala, the thalamus, and certain areas of the prefrontal cortex. When these regions remain active, the brain interprets the world as dangerous even in safe contexts. And then, the body reacts as if it were at war, even if you're just trying to sleep. Fortunately, the body also has a natural regulatory mechanism, the parasympathetic nervous system, associated with the vagus nerve. This system is responsible for restoring our calm. When activated, the heart slows, breathing deepens, and the brain releases neurotransmitters such as acetylcholine, which induce serenity and clarity. Dr. Huberman has shown that we can consciously activate this system, and the most fascinating thing is that we don't need drugs or complex rituals. We just need to learn to use the tools the body already has. One of Huberman's most important discoveries is the power of controlled breathing to regulate emotional state. Although we often think of ourselves as breathing automatically, each inhalation and exhalation sends direct information to the brain about the body's internal state. When you inhale, you slightly activate the sympathetic, alertness system. When you exhale, you activate the parasympathetic, relaxation system. So, if you want to calm down, the key is to exhale longer than you inhale. Huberman popularized a technique called the physiological sigh, a natural breathing process that the body spontaneously performs when crying, being frightened, or being relieved. It consists of 1. Inhale deeply through your nose. 2. Take a small second inhalation to completely fill your lungs. 3. Exhale slowly through your mouth, releasing all the air. Just 2 or 3 repetitions of this pattern can significantly reduce CO2 levels, normalize heart rate, and send a calming signal to the brain. This simple act is backed by science. Studies from Stanford and other universities have shown that physiological sighing immediately activates the parasympathetic system, reducing anxiety within minutes. It's not just breathing that influences the nervous system, posture does too. When we're anxious, the body tends to slump, the shoulders hunch forward, and the chest contracts. This physical position reinforces the internal sense of danger. The brain interprets this posture as a signal that something is wrong. On the contrary, opening the chest, relaxing the shoulders, and keeping the gaze forward activates safety receptors in the brainstem. Huberman explains that the body sends more signals to the brain than the brain sends to the body. Therefore, changing your posture can transform your mental state in a matter of seconds. When you adopt a relaxed position, your nervous system interprets that you're safe. And your brain, faithful to the body's information, adjusts your emotional tone to align with that feeling of safety. Another of Huberman's most fascinating discoveries concerns vision. Our eyes aren't just used to see the outside world. they're also an extension of the brain. In fact, the optic nerves are a direct part of the central nervous system. When you're stressed or anxious, your gaze narrows. This is called focused vision. The visual field narrows, focusing on a single point or the source of threat. This increases the activity of the sympathetic system. For decades, science believed that emotions controlled the body, but now we know the relationship also works the other way around. The body can guide the brain toward states of calm or activation depending on the physiological patterns we adopt. This is known as top-down and bottom-up control and is one of the foundations of the Huberman method. Top-down, it means influencing the body from the mind, for example, thinking about something relaxing. Bottom-up, it means influencing the mind from the body, for example, changing breathing or posture. Huberman argues that the second approach, the bottom-up approach, is much more effective when we are anxious, because in that state the mind doesn't listen to reason. Thought can't calm what biology keeps burning, but the body can. Through breathing, movement, vision, and body awareness exercises, it's possible to hack the nervous system to return to balance. And this physiological control of mental state isn't just theory. It has been supported by multiple neuroimaging studies, hormonal measurements, and biofeedback. Huberman also clarifies something essential. Stress isn't always negative. There is functional acute stress, which is temporary and drives us to act, focus, or perform better. The problem arises when stress becomes chronic, that is, when we fail to deactivate the sympathetic system once the challenge has passed. In this state, cortisol levels remain elevated, affecting memory, concentration, and cardiovascular health. Sleep is disrupted, the immune system weakens, and the brain enters a permanent state of alert. Therefore, learning to activate the rest mode, the parasympathetic mode, is not only a wellness tool, but a biological necessity. One of Huberman's most inspiring ideas is that calm can also be trained. The brain has the ability to change its structure and connections through repetition. That's neuroplasticity. Every time you practice a regulation technique, such as breathing or visualization, you strengthen the neural networks associated with control and safety. Over time, your nervous system learns to return to calm more quickly. You no longer need as much conscious effort. Regulation becomes automatic. This isn't magic or empty spirituality, it's biological training. Just as you exercise a muscle, you can strengthen your emotional resilience. Another key finding of Dr. Huberman's is that focused attention can modify neural activity. When you pay mindful attention to your body, for example, your breathing or your heartbeat, you activate brain regions linked to self-perception and emotional regulation, such as the insula and medial prefrontal cortex. This practice, combined with breathing, creates a kind of biological synchrony between mind and body, reducing the activation of the amygdala, the fear center, and promoting a sense of internal control. Therefore, in this scientific meditation, every breath, every pause, and every visualization has a measurable and real purpose: to train communication between body and brain. In recent years, Huberman's work has bridged the gap between modern neuroscience and ancient meditation practices. For centuries, cultures around the world intuitively discovered that breathing deeply, maintaining an open posture, and focusing attention on the present calms the mind. Today, science explains why it works. The message is simple but powerful. Calmness isn't a gift. It's a skill. And your body has the tools to cultivate it. Now that you understand how your nervous system works, you're ready to consciously train it. In the next section, you'll experience a guided protocol inspired by the studies of Andrew Huberman, designed to reduce stress and anxiety from the body. You will learn to breathe in such a way that your biology responds with serenity, to feel your body without fear, to visualize safety, and to create, within yourself, a space of silence where the mind can rest. Because true calm is not sought outside, it is built within, with practice, science, and presence. If in the previous section we understood how the nervous system works and how the body can influence the mind, now we're going to take the next step, using that understanding to train calmness in a practical way. Andrew Huberman sums it up like this: we can't control what we feel, but we can control the signals the body sends to the brain. And that changes everything, because it means that inner peace is not a matter of luck or mysticism, but of applied biology with intention. Over the next few minutes, you'll learn a series of neuroscientific protocols that you can practice at any time of day, when you're feeling anxious, stressed, or simply want to reconnect with your body. Each of these techniques is supported by studies from Stanford's neurobiology lab and decades of research on the autonomic nervous system. The power of the physiological sigh, the breath that calms the brain. Let's start with the most powerful and simplest tool, breathing. Huberman discovered that there is a type of natural breathing that we all do without realizing it, and that the body uses to automatically release tension, the physiological sigh. When we cry, when we feel relief, or when we finally relax after a difficult situation, the body spontaneously performs this pattern: a deep inhalation, followed by a second, shorter inhalation, and a long exhalation. Science shows that this type of breathing has an immediate effect on body chemistry. It reduces CO2 levels in the blood, which stabilizes the heart rate. It activates the parasympathetic system, promoting relaxation and a sense of security. Decreases amygdala activity, the fear center in the brain. Let's do it together. Sit in a comfortable position. Relax your shoulders. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Inhale deeply and slowly through your nose. Feel the air fill your lungs. Now, take a second short inhalation, as if you were trying to fill up on the air you were missing. And finally, exhale slowly through your mouth, as if letting go of the weight of the day. Repeat this cycle 3 times. Don't force it, just feel it. Each exhalation is a calming signal sent directly to your brain. In just 3 breaths, your nervous system begins to change its chemistry. Your heart slows, your muscles relax, and your mind begins to feel safe. Huberman explains that this breathing pattern is the fastest way known to science to reduce anxiety without drugs. Just 1 or 2 minutes can tangibly change your biological and emotional state. Controlling visual rhythm, how the gaze regulates the nervous system. Our eyes are a direct extension of the brain. Literally, the optic nerve is brain tissue projecting outward from the skull. And that means the way you look can alter your emotional state. When you're stressed or on alert, your vision becomes focused, concentrating on a single point. Your brain interprets this as a threat signal and increases adrenaline production. On the contrary, when you expand your field of vision, what Huberman calls panoramic vision, the brain interprets the environment as safe, activating the parasympathetic system. It's as if looking at the horizon reminds the body that the danger has passed. If you can look straight ahead, focus on a fixed point. Now, without moving your head, begin to notice what's on the sides of your vision. The lights, the shadows, the peripheral objects. Allow your gaze to expand, encompassing the entire environment effortlessly. You don't need to focus on anything, just perceive. Breathe gently. Feel your body relax as it acknowledges the space. This simple visual expansion activates brain circuits that reduce physiological tension, as if you were literally opening your mind to the present. Huberman explains it this way: wide vision tells your brain you're safe. Focused vision tells your brain you're in danger. In other words, looking different can make you feel different. The body as a messenger, adjusting posture and releasing tension. The following protocol is related to something we all do unconsciously: posture. When you're anxious, your body scrunches up. Your shoulders roll forward, your neck tenses, and your chest contracts. This body pattern reinforces alertness and sends danger signals to the brain. On the contrary, when you open your chest, align your spine, and relax your abdomen, your body interprets that as if there is no threat. That physical signal, although it may seem simple, reprograms the brain. Sit up straight but not stiffly. Imagine a soft thread supporting the top of your head. Relax your shoulders back. Open your chest slightly, as if letting the air flow through you. Feel the weight of your body rest firmly on the floor. Now, observe your breathing. Notice how it flows more freely when your body is open. That's a direct sign that your nervous system is balancing. Huberman and other neuroscientists point out that body posture influences the release of neurotransmitters such as dopamine and serotonin. An open, relaxed posture increases feelings of control and reduces self-perceptions of threat. The importance of the environment: light, temperature, and sound. Not only does the body regulate the brain, the environment does too. Huberman has shown that factors such as light, temperature, and sound directly influence the neural circuits associated with stress and relaxation. In the morning, exposure to sunlight activates dopamine and cortisol, helping with alertness and motivation. But at night, that same light, especially the blue or white light from screens, inhibits melatonin and keeps the alert system engaged. For this reason, Huberman recommends avoiding bright lights 2 hours before bedtime and preferring warm or dim lighting. This not only improves sleep, but also regulates circadian rhythms that affect the production of cortisol, the main marker of stress. The body regulates its temperature to facilitate rest or activation. A slightly cool environment, 18 to 20 degrees Celsius, promotes relaxation and sleep. Cold baths in the morning help you wake up, but at night, a warm or hot bath induces a slight drop in body temperature afterwards, which facilitates calmness and drowsiness. This thermal change has a direct effect on the hypothalamus, the region of the brain that regulates homeostasis, or internal balance. The brain also responds to sound frequencies. High-pitched, fast sounds stimulate the sympathetic nervous system, while low-pitched, slow, or natural sounds, such as the ocean, wind, or rain, activate the parasympathetic nervous system. Huberman points out that even the rhythm of the human voice can have a calming or exciting effect. Therefore, speaking or listening to yourself in a slow and warm tone, like the one we use in this guide, reinforces the feeling of internal security. Before a relaxation practice, dim the lights, lower the temperature slightly, and choose soft or natural sounds. Your environment can become a physiological ally in calming your mind. Cyclic breathing as neurobiological training. In addition to physiological sighing, Huberman has studied other breathing patterns that train the nervous system's resilience. One of these is conscious cyclic breathing, where you alternate between activation and calm in a controlled manner. Exercise 4-4-6 breathing. This pattern helps to balance the two systems, sympathetic and parasympathetic, in a harmonious way. 1. Inhale through your nose for a count of 4 seconds. 2. Hold your breath for 4 seconds. 3. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 seconds. By exhaling longer than you inhale, the body is told to calm down. The heart and mind begin to synchronize. Repeat this cycle for a few minutes and notice how your body effortlessly calms. This type of breathing activates a region of the brain called the nucleus of the solitary tract, which regulates vagus nerve tone and, therefore, physiological calm. Practicing this type of breathing daily retrains the brain's automatic response to stress, reducing emotional reactivity and improving mental clarity. How these small practices reprogram the mind. This is where the biological magic happens. Every time you apply these protocols, breathing, gaze, posture, or environment, you're sending a different message to the brain. And the brain, through neuroplasticity, begins to adapt. Neuroplasticity is the nervous system's ability to reorganize itself based on experience. Therefore, every calming practice is, in fact, a neural workout. You are strengthening the connections between the prefrontal areas, rationality and control, and the limbic structures, emotion and reaction. As you repeat these exercises, your brain becomes more efficient at detecting when there's no real danger, and it can return to balance more quickly. This process occurs thanks to measurable changes in synapses and the release of regulatory neurotransmitters like GABA and serotonin. Daily integration. Small practices, big results. Huberman emphasizes that it's not about doing long sessions, but rather incorporating micro-practices throughout the day. For example, before a difficult meeting or conversation, take 3 physiological sighs. During a walk, expand your gaze to the horizon. If you feel tension in your neck or chest, adjust your posture and breathe deeply. If you work at night, reduce blue light 1 hour before bedtime. These small actions create what Huberman calls a self-regulating internal environment, a body that no longer automatically reacts to stress, but instead responds with presence and stability. The key to this entire method is consistency. The brain changes with repetition. Every time you practice, you're reinforcing the calm circuit. Over time, your nervous system reprograms itself to respond differently to stress. Huberman often says, "You can't eliminate stress from your life, but you can teach your body not to fear it." And that's exactly what these protocols do. Transform the relationship between your body and anxiety, turn stress into regulated energy, and allow calm to stop being an exception and become your natural state. By now, you've learned the fundamental neuroscientific tools to calm your body and prepare your mind. You've breathed with science, looked with awareness, tuned your body with intention, and understood how your environment influences your biology. In the next section, we'll delve into the practical heart of this video, a 25-minute guided neuropractice where we'll apply everything we've learned to experience deep, lasting relaxation designed to free the body of stress and calm the mind from within. Get ready. Your body already knows how to do it. It just needs your permission to remember. Complete guided neuropractic. Your mind can become your safest refuge when you learn to guide your body toward calm. Inspired by the studies of Dr. Andrew Huberman, this practice will be a journey toward deep regulation of the nervous system. We will activate, balance, and ultimately calm your physiology step by step. Each phase is scientifically supported, but also spiritually designed to reconnect you with your body's natural tranquility. Prepare to enter a state of relaxed awareness and mental clarity. Phase 1. Conscious breathing. Practice of physiological sighing plus 4-4-4-4 breathing. We start with something simple, yet profoundly transformative: breathing. For thousands of years, spiritual traditions have used it as a bridge to calm. Today, neuroscience confirms the same. The way you breathe determines how your brain behaves. Dr. Huberman calls it voluntary state control. When you take control of your breathing, you take control of your autonomic nervous system. Start now. Sit or lie down in a comfortable place, free from distractions. Inhale slowly through your nose, and before exhaling, take a second, small sigh, also through your nose. Now gently release the air through your mouth. This is the physiological sigh, a natural tool the body uses to reduce accumulated CO2 and restore balance to the nervous system. Do it with me. Inhale deeply. Small second sigh. Exhale long and softly. Feel how your body begins to release tension. Repeat this cycle a few times. You'll notice that each exhalation feels lighter, as if you're releasing not only air, but also the weight of your thoughts. After 3 or 4 physiological sighs, we will move on to a more structured breathing rhythm. Let's start the 4-4-4-4 pattern, known as box breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 4 seconds. Exhale in 4 seconds. Hold your breath for another 4 seconds before inhaling again. This cycle activates the balance between the sympathetic and parasympathetic systems, reducing mental hyperactivity and stabilizing the heart rate. As you breathe, imagine that with each inhalation you are filling your lungs with light. And with each exhalation, you are letting go of tension, fear, and haste. Just breathe. Nothing else is necessary at this moment. Phase 2 body scan. Progressive relaxation and muscle release. Now that breathing has stabilized your system, let's dig deeper. Your body is a stress map. Every muscle, every joint, can store tiny memories of tension, like unread messages from the nervous system. Let's consciously scan it from head to toe. This body scan has a neuroscientific basis. By directing your sensory attention to specific areas of the body, you activate the insula, a brain region key to interoception and emotional regulation. In other words, when you calmly observe your body, you teach your brain to feel safe within it. Let's begin. Close your eyes. Direct your attention to your feet. Feel their contact with the ground or the surface that supports them. Take a breath, and as you exhale, imagine the muscles in your feet melting like warm wax. Now move up to your calves. Feel any stiffness, pressure, or discomfort, and simply allow it to be there. Your only task is to observe. As you do this, the body begins to release on its own. Continue to your knees and thighs. Feel the weight of your legs, notice how they rest. Each exhalation makes them heavier, more relaxed. Now bring your attention to your abdomen. This is a sensitive area. Many unexpressed emotions accumulate here. Don't try to change them, just breathe them in. Inhale, and as you exhale, let your belly soften. Feel how your breathing becomes deeper, freer. Rise to your chest. Observe the gentle movement of your breathing. Imagine the air caressing your lungs and heart, harmonizing their rhythm. Now direct your attention to your shoulders. Allow them to fall, letting go of the invisible weight they carry. Each exhalation releases them a little more. Feel your arms, your forearms, your hands. Loosen your fingers. Imagine all the accumulated tension draining outwards, dissolving into the air. Now move on to your neck, your jaw, your face. Relax your tongue, your eyelids, your forehead. Let your face assume a neutral expression, one of complete rest. Stay here for a few seconds, feeling the whole body as a single, living organism, calm, breathing with you. Your mind is learning that it can be safe without needing to be alert. Your nervous system is beginning to understand the language of relaxation. Phase 3: Visualization. Imagining a safe and expansive environment for the brain. Visualization isn't fantasy, it's applied neuroscience. The brain doesn't differentiate between what you imagine and what you actually experience, at least not in the regions responsible for emotion and sensation. Therefore, by visualizing, you can train your mind to feel safe even in the midst of external chaos. Close your eyes and imagine a place where you feel completely at peace. It can be real or imagined. Perhaps a beach at sunrise, a forest bathed in soft light, or a quiet room where the air is warm and protective. Feel the details. The sound of the wind, the texture of the ground beneath your feet, the smell of the air. Look around you in that mental image. Each element you imagine is helping your limbic system register a sense of physiological safety. As you breathe, repeat internally, I am safe in my body. I am present. I am calm. Allow this image to envelop you. Each breath expands the feeling of space, of lightness. Feel your chest open, your mind clear, and your body rest in a safe environment created by you. Your brain is generating new patterns, neural pathways that associate stillness with safety. This is emotional reprogramming from within. Stay here for a few moments, enjoying that calm that now has shape, color, and sound. Phase 4: Active silence. Remain still to consolidate physiological calm. Silence is the language of the nervous system when it has finally found balance. After breathing, relaxing, and visualizing, the body is ready to enter a phase of integration. Close your eyes. Don't try to control your breathing, let it flow on its own. Simply observe how the air flows in and out effortlessly. Listen to the sounds around you. Perhaps a faint hum, the wind, your own heart. Everything is right. Everything belongs to this moment. Remain still. Allow the mind to rest in its own center. If a thought appears, don't follow it. Just watch it come and dissolve like a cloud crossing the sky. This is where something powerful happens. Your nervous system, no longer encountering threats, strengthens its safety circuits. Your brain begins to understand that rest isn't dangerous, that it can let its guard down and regenerate. Stay a few more minutes in this silence. Every second you spend in stillness strengthens the neural connections associated with calm. You are strengthening your physiological capacity for serenity. When you're ready to close the practice, bring your attention back to your breath. Gently move your fingers, hands, and feet. Slowly open your eyes. Feel your body, lighter, calmer, more like yourself. This neuropractice is a tool. Every time you do it, your body learns a little more to calm itself. It's a nervous system workout, just like training a muscle. And the most fascinating thing is that it doesn't require effort, but rather consistency. Remember, calmness isn't sought. It's created from within, breath by breath. Inspired by the studies and teachings of Dr. Andrew Huberman, this practice unites science and direct experience. Repeat this session whenever you need to, especially during times of stress, anxiety, or insomnia. Your body knows how to calm down. You just need to remind it. Your mind can learn calm, just as it learned fear. Inspired by the insights of Dr. Andrew Huberman, take a moment to notice how you feel right now. Perhaps your breathing is slower, your mind is clearer, or you feel a subtle peace sweeping through your body. That's no coincidence. What you've just experienced is a profound reorganization of your nervous system, a tangible response to your decision to slow down rather than speed up. The science is clear. Every time you choose calm, you're training your biology to sustain it. Every conscious breath, every visualization, every minute of silence builds new neural circuits of balance. This is applied neuroplasticity. Your brain changes with what you repeat. And that means that peace is not a gift that some have and others don't, but a trainable skill accessible to anyone who commits to the practice. Dr. Andrew Huberman explains that the nervous system has two major engines: the sympathetic nervous system, which prepares you for action, and the parasympathetic nervous system, which encourages you to rest and restore. Both are necessary, but most of us live trapped in constant alert mode. We live responding to noise, pressure, urgency, and the body gets used to stress as if it were its natural state. But today, with this practice, you've shown that you can retrain that system. With every physiological sigh, with every guided breath, with every moment of mindfulness, you have taught your mind that not everything requires an immediate response, that there is also power in stillness. True self-control isn't about strength, it's about physiology. And when you understand how your biology works, self-care stops being an emotional act and becomes a scientific decision. You are the laboratory, and each practice is a new opportunity to balance your internal systems. The body learns through repetition. Just as anxiety is consolidated by the habit of reacting with fear, calm is established by the habit of returning to the present. Every time you repeat this neuropractice, you are strengthening your serenity neural pathways. It will be easier for you to find calm, even in difficult times. What you do consciously today will eventually become automatic, natural, your new baseline state. Imagine a day when things go wrong, and instead of tensing up, your body remembers, without you having to think about it, how to return to peace. That's neurotraining. That's what you're building. Therefore, I invite you to repeat this practice every day, or as many times as you need. Dedicating 25 minutes a day to yourself isn't a luxury. It's an investment in mental clarity and well-being. There's no better time to start than now. I want you to remember something very important. Your mind can learn calm, just as it learned fear. Fear was a biological lesson, a survival mechanism. Calmness, on the other hand, is a conscious lesson, an evolutionary mechanism. When you choose calmness, you're not escaping reality, you're taking control of it. Every conscious breath you take tells your brain, I am safe. I am present. I am choosing my state. That's the foundation of all transformation. You don't need to eliminate stress, but rather redefine your relationship with it. Turn it into a signal, not an enemy. A reminder that it's time to return to the body, to return to the now. What you just did isn't just a meditation. It's a neurophysiological re-education session. And with each practice, you're becoming your own emotional regulator, your own balance point. If this experience helped you, imagine what will happen when you practice other guided neuropractices designed for focus, relaxation, motivation, or emotional clarity. This channel is inspired by the knowledge and methodology of Dr. Andrew Huberman, not to supplant his work, but to put science at the service of the human experience, transforming neurobiology into something you can feel, live, and apply. So, I invite you, with a sense of calm and gratitude, to subscribe to this space. Activate the notification bell to continue exploring upcoming sessions, and share this video with someone who needs it, because calm, when shared, multiplies. Imagine what the world would be like if we all breathed a little slower, if everyone could access these kinds of science-based guided practices. You can be part of that change. Start today, start here. Take one last deep breath. Inhale serenity. Exhale gratitude. And while you do this, mentally repeat, I am learning calm. I am creating balance. I am at peace. Thank you for joining me for this session inspired by the science and wisdom of Dr. Andrew Huberman. See you at the next neuropractice. Till then, take care of your mind, train your calm, and remember, peace is not the absence of noise, but the internal mastery of silence.